Okay, thank you for stopping by. So it's like a sixth day of myself exploring this expo, and then as I explore more, as I got to understand about how does everything works inside this expo to get around. So I'm gonna go into in this video. I'm gonna share with you about the 10 tips that I thought is convenient for your future visit. So this video is practically this is more about the actual future visitors. So, but yeah, if you are just interested in the expo, maybe you can still watch it. And then this is the 10 things that I'm going to talk about in this video. Okay, let's start. So before going into the tips, let's check the general information about this expo. So the official name for this event is Expo 2025, Osaka, Kansai, Japan. And then the time of this expo is from April 13th to October 13th, which is 184 days altogether. And then the event is taking place at Umeshima Island in Osaka. And then the theme of this event is designing the future society for life. Okay, then let's go into the first tip. So then for the access, so this venue is like 20 kilometers away from the main station in Osaka, which is an Osaka station. And then the main transportation you will be using will be a bus or train. But for the bus, you have to book in advance. And then by using a specific app called, what was the name of it? I forgot the name. I'm gonna put that in this video. But on this app, so you can book the buses, and then that's gonna directly get to the venue. But from the parking area, it depends on where the bus will park, but the distance is different. So if it's far, you can use like a shuttle bus, free shuttle bus from the parking area, and then if it's close, you can just walk from the parking area to this venue. And then so for train, no matter where you are coming from, you will be changing to Chuo line in Osaka Metro. So if you are thinking about booking a place to stay, you can book a hotel on the line. In that case, you can save your time to transportation. And then if you're leaving from the main area in Osaka, like Umeda, Namba, and those areas, it takes about 20 to 30 minutes to get to this Umeshima. So yeah, by bus or either by bus or train. And here is the map of the Osaka route map, and then the green ones are the Chuo line. And then about the weather, so for the past few days, like this is like the fourth day which I am shooting this video, and then so the weather has been really bad for the past 3 days. So like for the opening day, it was like wind and the rain was so huge, so heavy, and then it was really cold. And then actually the second day and the third day, it was still, sometimes it was sunny, but sometimes it gets really cold and with strong wind. So if you're so it may continue during this April. And then for the Japanese weather, June, it's because it's global warming, it's now really hot even in May, and then the summer is going to be more awful. And then also like June is like a time when we have like a rainy seasons. So and then it could be really humid. And then the summer from for the summer from June to like August, September, those time, the temperature could be very hot, like around 40 degrees Celsius, I would say. And then you have to care about the heat stroke as well. And then during the summer, it could be really humid, and also sometimes you can get cold. So make sure you bring a folded umbrella or a raincoat. Actually, you can buy them at the convenience store inside this venue, so you don't have to bring them if you want to buy it at site. So please be minded about the weather and the temperature and the weather conditions. So for the ticket, there are mainly two kinds. One is one-time visit ticket, and then also like a multiple pass ticket. And then for the one-time ticket, you have like three kinds. It's like one-day ticket by which you can enter the expo anytime you want during this expo. And then the second one is weekday ticket, which enables you to get into expo anytime you want during the expo, but only for the weekdays. Also like a night ticket, which is like you can use only for the night time after 5 o'clock. And then the price goes to 7,500 Japanese yen and 6,100 Japanese yen, 3,700 Japanese yen. and then the price varies for kids. But for that detail, please see the website. And then also for the season pass, there are mainly two kinds. One is just a regular season pass, which you have to pay 30,000 yen, Japanese yen, 3,000 yen, which I bought. And then also like a summer pass, which you can enter during the summer season, which is July 19th to August 31st. And then it goes with like a 12,000 yen, like a 12,000 yen, Japanese yen. And then here's another thing. So if you buy a one-day ticket and then get inside and explore for a day, and then if you really feel like coming back again, so you might want to purchase the season ticket, which allows you to come here anytime you want, and then without the limit. And then in that case, so there's like a coupon that you can use for purchasing the season ticket, which means that they're going to give you a cashback for the price you paid for like by buying the one-day ticket. So you only pay like 24,000 yen, Japanese yen, for the season pass. So which is given at the entrance, at the edge, at the left side of the entrance, east gate of the entrance. So when you are leaving, if that happens, you can go there and then get the coupon for your purchasing the season ticket. So don't miss it if you are going to do it. And if you buy a ticket, you have to decide what time and then when you are going to visit the venue, which is going to be tied with the booking on the pavilions. So about the pavilion and the booking, I thought it's very complicated, so I try to explain step by step. But the pavilion, there are about 200 pavilions in this venue from the 158 countries and the regions from the world, and then also from the Japanese companies and then Japanese organizations. So booking the pavilions by the Japanese companies and then organizations, usually you have to book it in advance. And then about the pavilions from the world, there are actually more pavilions that do not require booking in advance. But the popular ones, for example, like France, designed by LVMH, and then also the Italian one, where you can see like a work by Caravaggio. Those popular ones usually require bookings. But even for the popular ones, you can sometimes just go on then. If there's any opening, you can just line or you can just get inside. Then about the booking, you have to first decide what day and time you are going to visit the venue. So if you purchase a ticket, first book date and time of your visit. So to book pavilion, it's actually decided by lottery if there's more people applying than the opening seats. And then there are 4 chances. The first one is 2 months in advance lottery, which is you can entry from 3 months to 2 months before your entry, before your visit. And then the second one is 7 days in advance lottery, which is you can entry from 1 month to 8 days prior to your visit. And then the third one is available slot reservation, which is you can entry from 3 days before your visit to 9 a.m. 1 day before your visit. And then the last one is on-site registration, which is you can register on the day of your visit. And then the first 2 lottery, which is 2 months before the lottery, and then also 7 days in advance lottery, you can actually enter for the lotteries of 5 pavilions, but you will be only selected for 1 pavilion. This is important. You will be selected for only 1 pavilion. Okay, and then the last 2, available slot reservation and on-site reservation. For these 2 as well, you can only book 1 pavilion at once. And then here, if you finish visiting the pavilion, you can start actually doing on-site reservation. So this way, you can continue booking pavilions. And then maximum for 1 ticket, you can book 3 pavilions at one time. So this is the case that you have more than 2 months until your visit. I hope you understand it. It took a little time for me to understand. So basically, at the maximum, there are 3 pavilions that you can book in advance. But this is only when you have time in advance, more than 2 months. So what I mean is that, so if you are already planning to visit in this week, you can only book 1 pavilion for now. So you might wonder if there's any way that you can increase the number of pavilions that you can book. So which is you have to buy a ticket again. Yeah, which is smart. I don't know. So I was thinking that I wasn't really convinced this is like the best way to visit the pavilions. So but good thing is that I asked the person who was ticketing at the venue, which was the pavilion that I really wanted to go, which was like a no. produced by the Otsuya Yoichi, who is a media artist from Japan. And then the person said that even if it's really popular pavilion, he said if you come in the morning, or this is not 100% sure, but he said in the morning or afternoon, sometime afternoon, like evening, there's actually a time where the person at the entrance can give you like an opening. So in that case, you can sneak into the the pavilion that's still popular. So and then he said that actually happened for the past few days. So this can be the case. So I think many of the pavilions from abroad, even if I don't know about France or Italy, but actually yesterday I was asking the person in Italian pavilion, and then the person said that you can wait for like 30 minutes to get in. So for the popular ones, probably at night there's less people, so there's more chances that you can enter without booking, I think. So if you really want to visit like the pavilions that's really popular, it may be the chance that it may be a good timing to visit. So anyway, I kind of wonder how this ticketing and the booking pavilion system was like for the last expo in Dubai. And as far as I check, in the last expo in Japan which was held in Aichi, it was like you can buy a ticket and then you can just go to visit the pavilion. That's it. And then it's like 20 years ago, so it might be different. Hello, so this is like the 6th day that I'm joining this expo, and then I'm finally able to start exploring the inside pavilions since yesterday. And then actually, so today it's like a Sunday, and then so new situation going on. So I just wanted to try to see if I can really get into like the popular pavilions, which is like a France one. And then I just came to like the entrance, and then now they are welcoming the people without reservation. So which means that even if you don't have the reservation, you can still very probable that you can enter still. So yeah, just don't be afraid. Even if you don't have the reservation, you can just line and clear the the pavilion that you want to get in, even if that looks full for the reservations. So yeah, actually now I'm getting inside, and it takes about probably like 30 minutes or something just to start lining up like a while ago, and then now the clear is still already going smoothly. And then actually there's another pavilion from the USA which is really popular also, and then the person there told me that it takes about 1 hour to get in, so which is, I think it's still very acceptable considering these two popular ones. You can mostly get in still, but it may be still because of the April, which is really early. So when it gets to the closer to the end, I'm sure that it'll be more people coming in. So if you're thinking about coming anyway, and then thinking about where what time would be the best timing to come, I think the earlier the better, I guess. So I just today it's now Sunday 4 o'clock, and then just stop at the Nulu, the pavilion that I really wanted to go visit by the Otsuya Yoichi media artist. And then I've just got the seiriken, which is like, so I got the number there, so I can just go there like at 8:10. So which is really good. So then I decided to explore as many pavilions as possible, and then I was thinking of visiting the US, but they say it will take about 1 hour and a half to get inside, and then China also. So I've decided to explore the other pavilions that you have to wait for less time. Then I'm at the for the Kuwait pavilion that's next to China's. And it takes about 20-30 minutes to get in, so which is pretty quick. So yeah, and then the person from the American pavilion said that after 6 o'clock, it's much surer to get inside. So that's the time I'm gonna visit the China and the US today. And then actually, here is the map of the expo. After you pick up the pavilions you want to visit, I suggest you check the location of those pavilions, because the diameter of the circle is actually 675 meters long, and then also you cannot sometimes just go directly to the pavilion. Sometimes you have to go around it. So, and then this way you can kind of think about how you can visit each pavilion. And then if you go around this building, there's a coin locker here. so you can use it until 9:30. So the price is 1,000 Japanese yen. So this is a size that you can put in the luggage coin locker. And if you have bigger ones, you can drop off in this facility. And then I've heard that if you bring like a super huge suitcase, you have to pay like 1,000,000 yen. That was like on the internet everywhere I saw. But actually I heard someone here that he told me that the maximum you pay is like 2,000 yen, 2,000 Japanese yen, which is like 16, 17 bucks. So yeah, that's still I think acceptable and not like going too crazy. So yeah, I was thinking that I was gonna suggest if you have like a super huge suitcase and then you come here directly from the airport or like a train, I thought it's not wise to do it. But I think it may be something. It may be the price that you can accept still. So yeah, that's something that you can think about. But of course, if you are from a city area, you can easily find a place where you can drop off your stuff. Like for example, the one that I used today is like an application called Bounce. I just searched a place where you can drop off your stuff, and then it just popped up on the website. And then there was like up, and then if you input your current location, that's gonna tell you how like the closest places where you can drop off your stuff, which cost me like 800 yen, which is like $6. So that was still good. And then of course it's much cheaper if you drop off from the city area before you come into this Yumeshima Island. So yeah, that's for the luggage. And then for the food, I have so far experienced 3 times in this expo. The first one was chicken wrap that I bought on the opening day, which was terrible actually. And then the second one was sushi roll, and then which turned out to be great. I thought it's really nice, and then there's actually no adding a cost, compared to the normal sushi roll's price, I guess. And then sorry, I didn't mention how much it was for the set that I had. It was like 1,200 yen for like 7 nanakan, including otoro, like fatty tuna. And then if 1,200 yen is like how much? About $9 or something. So yeah, I think it was really nice one. And then also I had like a bento, which I bought next to sushiro, which cost me like 900, probably 1,000 yen. Yeah, it was like 1,000 yen, which was like $8, yeah, or something. So that was also fine. Yeah. So I didn't see like the price to be crazy expensive for this expo. So yeah, and then many people from abroad will be able to probably enjoy the Japanese dishes that are served in this venue, without worrying too much about the prices, I think. So yeah, I would say it's really fair. And then if you really want to save your money, there are also convenience inside the facility, inside the venue, like 3 convenience, Rawson, Family Mart, and 7-Eleven. And then their prices are also like normal, as you can find in the city area. So that's just fair. So yeah, so my rating for food is just fine. And then also inside the venue, you can't use cash, so you have to bring your smartphone or credit card only. So here it's like just right in front of the East Gate, and then here's like a mobile battery charger where you can rent, and then they have so much stock, so you don't have to buy the charger, and then you can just rent it. Yeah, from here. Okay. This is right next to the gate, and then here you can rent a Wi-Fi and a mobile battery. So if you don't want to, you can just rent this one. Yeah, it's really convenient. And then about the souvenirs, you can buy them at official stores inside the venue, as I've shown in this video. And then actually there are post offices at each gate of West and East, right in front. It's actually next to the gate. If you pass the gate, you'll see the post office. For the east gate, you see it on your right side. So if you buy a lot of stuff, you can send them from the post office, which is very convenient. And then the lastly, I'd like to answer the possible questions that you might want to ask. So the one that I can come up with, like how many days would I recommend to stay, to visit this expo? And then my suggestion would be, if you are visiting here Osaka, like maybe for a week or a few days, at least 3 to 4 days, I would suggest at least, of course, 1 day, and then 1 or 2 days would be nice. I think, just by exploring this expo, visiting many pavilions, having like your stuff on your back, and then waiting for lines, and then going, inside and then seeing many stuff, which really makes you exhausted at the end of the day. So I think the third day, it's gonna be really tough. I think. So yeah, I think if you have enough time, still 2 days would be, I think, good to have. Of course, it depends on how many pavilions and which pavilion you want to visit. And here's the thing, as I've said, the number of pavilions you can book is pretty much limited, even if you have like 2 months, time before your arrival. So my suggestion is try to narrow down to which one you really want to visit, and then as much as possible. And then the best thing is to do your best to book in advance, and then also you might still have pavilions that you want to visit, without booking. So in that case, you can still try to see if you can get in on the spot on the day of your arrival, actually visiting the, checking the pavilions on the site. So that's my, suggestion I can think of for now. Also, you might want to ask which pavilion would I recommend, and then the ones that I've seen so far that I can really tell is that the Japan Pavilion was great. That's something I saw first, and I was very astonished by the quality of it. So that was really nice. And then also, if you really want to have, something photogenic, French Pavilion is something that's worth visiting, I think. Especially the ones, in the room where you see like all the suitcases around you, which were decorated in a very luxurious and stylish way. So that was very, something nice. And then also, if you really want to see something, digitally creative thing, I suggest you visit Null, which at this moment I haven't uploaded that video yet, but I'm going to show you. I'm going to share that video pretty soon, like in 1-2 days, hopefully. So yeah, that was like digitally really creative space that's worth experiencing, I think. And then, but that one I had to get like a registration number, so on the spot, which why I wasn't able to book in advance. So yeah, I was fortunate. So yeah, those are the pavilions I can think of for now. Of course, every pavilion has its own charm, and even if it's not big, or even if it's not like spent much money on it, there's a person who's working really hard to make it happen, to have a pavilion there. So I think every pavilion has its own charm and worth visiting, I would say, as I'm going to visit all of them actually. Yeah, but still, there's something special that you can't really see other than here. So which is Personal Pavilion, where you can see the actual human heart, artificial heart, created by using IPS cells. So which is really rare to see, and that was a really unique experience. So yeah, that's something I can suggest. So yeah, those are the ones that I would say it's really nice to visit. But also, even if you can't visit like the pavilions, there's a lot of ways to enjoy this expo. For example, there's like a water show that is taking place afternoon and the evening, and then also make sure you visit the grand roof. That's really something really worth seeing. As you can see, just by looking up that grand roof, it's just majestic work of architecture, and then you see like the beautiful, like colors of wood, and then also if you go up, you can see like the whole circle of the entire building. And then also especially like the sunset time, if you maybe go up there like at after 6 o'clock to like 7 o'clock, that'll be the golden time where you can really enjoy like the change of the colors of the sky, which really turned out to be a great, amazing view. So yeah, there's a lot of ways. And then also there's also like if you're interested in architecture, you can enjoy like the bathrooms that were creatively created, having like awesome designs, on this venue. There are more than, I think, 10 to 20 bathrooms specifically created for this pavilion, created for this event, which is said to cost more than 2億円. It's like, how much is it? $1.5 million. So yeah, it spent a lot of money, and then which is also criticized for, but we can't, we built it already. So yeah, let's just enjoy it. So yeah, that's something worth checking also. And then there's also like mobility that you can experience. For example, like I experienced, it's like a really super slow mobility that you can enjoy. It's free, and you have to join the Rotary for that. But still, if you get the chance to ride, it's something that you can experience as a unique one. I think enough said. Oh, then also just going through like the outlook of the pavilion is also very nice. It was just fun, as I've done it on the first 3 days. So yeah, there's like many pavilions looked really fancy and creative, and yeah, that was just really nice to see them from the far. So yeah, that's it. So that's just a really exciting experience. I mean, so far for me at least. So yeah. So hope you are gonna enjoy this expo, and with the tips that I've provided here. So hope they are gonna be helpful for you. Okay. I'll be sharing more from this expo. Basically, sharing my experience of visiting like each pavilion. So you can look there inside by them. So hope you're gonna enjoy that as well. And then if you have any other questions about expo, please feel free to ask me and then write in the comments, as I'm really happy to be help. And I'm sure that I'm one of those people who have been to expo more than the average. So yeah, I should know better than than the average. And then sorry for this video, as I've kind of compiled every bit of footages from like each day I visited, because every time I visit the expo I got to understand something new, so I have to kind of update day by day. So hopefully this is going to be helpful for you. Okay, thank you so much for watching. All right, see you soon. Bye bye. Please let me know how you thought about the video, and if you like it, please share it with your friends and family.